I can't believe I really did a thing. You suck. Whoa! What? Who said that? It's me. Who are you? I am you. What? No, I'm me. No, like, dude, I'm your brain. Or more specifically, the thoughts you have in the back of your head telling you that nothing you do will ever be enough to make you achieve your dreams. Oh, you suck. Has this ever happened to you? Yeah, it sucks. But it doesn't have to keep happening. This summer, I took English 1301 at UTRGV, and in this class, I learned about a practice called self-regulation, which is basically just breaking your goals down into smaller ones and working through them like that. It also involves a lot of time management and commitment to your tasks, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not very good at right now. Self-regulation is something I personally didn't quite grasp for a long time, but I think the main reason I struggled for so long was because of that stupid voice. I kept constantly telling myself that my efforts weren't worth the time because my dream was basically impossible for someone of my skill level. I failed to see that there was room for growth and kept putting pressure on myself to get every small detail right on the first try. And because of that, I eventually stopped putting in effort for a while. But now, after taking this class, I've learned that it's okay to not get things right the first time. The only thing that you should focus on the first time around is making sure your idea gets out of your brain and onto something tangible. From there, it's a lot easier to see and understand what needs to improve. Like, as an example, in our class, instead of just diving right into the writing, we spent a good few days working on whiteboards that explained our thought process and how we wanted to tie our ideas in together. I mean, like, look at this one. This one is, I think, the first one we made in the whole class. It's called the Learner Profile Visualization of Dispositions and Goals. Yeah, long name. But look, you see, it's got like the goals and all of that, and then a specific behavior attached to help you reach that goal. It's a little specific to the class because of the dispositions of learning, but I think you can definitely apply the same practice to say like one of your big dreams. Like, I'm going to use myself as an example. My dream is to be a successful showrunner. So my first course goal, which I'll just say is a specific period of time, like half a year, can be being able to focus more on my writing without walking away from it. And then a specific behavior I can attach will be like sitting down with my script for at least 30 minutes a day with no distractions. And of course, not everyone's dream is the same. I want to be a showrunner, but maybe someone else watching this wants to be like a surgeon or something. But this, along with the things I learned in this class, can be applied to really anything. On the first day of class, we were taught two simple rules for our free writing: no stopping and no judging. These rules really can be applied to anything. I mean, take music as an example. Let's say you're trying to learn a song on piano. Instead of stopping whenever you make a mistake, you keep going and play the full song until the end. Sure, it didn't sound great, but at least you played it all the way through, and now, instead of judging your performance, you can just keep going and try to improve where you can. These rules are especially relevant to dreams. When you're chasing a dream, obviously there's going to be some pressure, but you need to just keep going. It doesn't matter if you slip up somewhere along the way. What matters is that you pick yourself back up and try to get yourself back on track. Another thing we did in this class that helped me realize this was reading the chapter Shitty First Drafts from Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird. I kid you not when I say that this chapter was probably in the top 5 chapters of any book I've ever read. It talks about her process when writing first drafts and basically boils down to it's okay to suck sometimes. Reading this chapter made me realize just how much I was overthinking my work. I would always dive straight into writing a draft without even thinking about what's going to be inside, and then I would get stuck after like 2 sentences because I didn't think about where I actually wanted it to go. Again, it's a book about writing, but I'm sure you can see the overlap. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes, just go through it once and clean it up later. The first step is to make it exist, the last step is to make it perfect. So then, that brings me back to self-regulation. as the explanation I gave earlier says, self-regulation is basically just setting a reasonable goal for yourself and taking the necessary steps to meet it in a certain time frame, whatever those variables may be. And I've actually put this into practice myself as of lately. Instead of trying to get a full script done in a week, I focus on writing an outline first so I know what my general idea will end up being, and then I start typing out the script. I don't worry about depth or anything too much until the rough draft is done, because as Lamont says from her own experience, no one is going to see it. And yes, when you do attempt to do something the first time, it definitely will not look good in the slightest. But that's okay, because this terrible work of whatever you did is not going to live for long, because you're going to fix it, and it's going to be a lot better when you do. And you might even feel proud of yourself this time. A way to apply this to a pretty common situation would be like if you wanted to clean your entire house. You'd start with cleaning your room or whatever you think could come first, and then take a little break. Then after that, you would just move on to the next room and so on and so on. Once you finish the entire house, you would then just do a quick check to make sure you didn't miss any spots. Then once you verified you finished the job, you can do something nice for yourself, whatever that might be. And this might seem like it would take longer, but giving yourself that break in between tasks as a reward actually helps you out a lot. But back to my main point. There is never any reason for you to give up on your dreams. I know it's cliche, but really, you can do anything you set your mind to. You really can do it. I mean, there's proof in every famous artist, writer, and musician you see. There's probably even proof in your high school teachers or college professors. Because let me tell you, nobody is teaching for the money. You don't have to make any super drastic changes right away. You can just try a little bit at a time to get better at what you love. And after enough time, you'll get there. No matter what your dream is, I promise you it's achievable if you look at it the right way. Really, these things work. Try them out for yourself if you don't believe me, but I promise you they work. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.